Adelaide, the greatest city in the world. It's time to wake up with the team born and bred right here in South Australia. The unofficial Mayor of Adelaide, AFL legend and Yabby peeling record holder, Mark Rasciuto. The former squash champ and current B-grade golf champ, Chris Didmar. And the award-winning radio host who's the dumbest smart person you know, Laura O'Callaghan.
It's Triple M Breakfast.
Triple M Breakfast with Roo, Dits and Loz.
Oh, there is so much happening on this Tuesday morning.
I know.
Tex Walker will come in later on this morning. And Loz, where's your wheelie bin gone?
We had to take it out of the studio because the rush hour can't be trusted.
Of course.
That we genuinely
Good call.
feared they would break it open and have a look at
Now,
what's
do I presume
inside.
it didn't go off yesterday, did it? We had a couple of more guesses.
Yep, no, it didn't
So
go off.
5,300.
Yes, I believe that. is
Okay,
the
that's what we're up
current
to.
tally.
If
Are
you,
we, hang on, Jared, are we putting the clues on the listener app or something like that?
Yeah,
All
we
right, so
are.
head to the listener app if you want any clues about what's in my wheelie bin.
Unoccupied and chocolate.
Yes,
I don't know
or
what
you
the
could just
next
listen.
one was.
Sure, you'll have to go to the listener.
Yeah.
So there's something in Loz's wheelie bin. We don't know what it is. Loz does. And if you get it right, it's $5,000 it started at. Every incorrect answer, it goes up by $100.
So it's 5,300.
Everyone else at Triple M knows except us, dear.
We're the
Well,
only two.
yeah.
Yeah. We were told no one knows.
Loz started with one other person.
Yeah.
I
Roo
know,
doesn't-
she
Roo-
started with just she knew it.
Roo doesn't know what it is, and he already managed to give a clue away yesterday.
I had the postman delivering the
He
mail at
gave a
reception
clue
yesterday.
away.
and
You
he said,
lifted
"I
the
know."
bin up and said what it weighed. Yeah.
Oh, well, don't
That's
leave
not
the
allowed.
bin around there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
All right.
Trevor Long,
my fault.
what happened driving
It
in
is.
this morning, Roo?
Oh, I nearly spat my bloody coffee out on the way in. He shot Bambi. Trevor Long called Peter Malinauskas a dickhead.
You're kidding.
Believe it.
Right.
How dare he?
Right.
Oh,
I'll
God.
protect Mally. I'll take a bullet for Mally.
It's like
This is our
punching
technical
Shirley
expert.
Temple or something.
Yeah.
The tech expert we get on when
Technology.
we...
Yeah.
Anyway,
well, it's all
well,
about the banning kids from
Reckons
using
it's
social
just
media.
he's a toothless tiger.
Let's get him
Yeah.
on to explain.
Yeah.
Please explain.
Please
All
explain.
Triple M Breakfast.
Triple M's Roo, Dits and Loz for breakfast.
I was driving in this morning and my
About what time-
eyeball
what
was
time?
well, it was. I think it was about 4:38. I think it was. I wrote it down, and
15 seconds.
I heard Trevor Long, who is a tech guru. He's got a website, Everything for the Man, and he had this to say about Peter Malinauskas.
News out of South Australia. Gee, we had some interesting discussion on this yesterday. The South Australian Premier is suggesting that kids 14 years and under should not be allowed to be on social media, to have a social media platform, that it would be illegal. Your thoughts?
He's a dickhead. Like, how do you enforce that? What a stupid idea. Firstly, I read some articles about this, and it's like, parents will need to... parents should need to do everything anyway. Parents should be required to, have the rules of the household. My kids don't get social media until their 13th birthday, because that's when Facebook allows you to open an account. That's when Snapchat allows you to open an account. And they only do that. I only give them social media after I sit them down and make them read a 2-page digital contract and they sign their name to it. Now, look, it's not perfect. I've had my issues with social media and my kids. I'm not saying it's the solution. But the fact is, the government, A, can't stop you, B, can't check, and C, what parent is actually going to enforce a government-led rule? Parents are going to follow their gut, and unfortunately the problem for social media is most parents don't give a rat's. Most parents aren't checking. Most parents don't stop their kids from signing up for an account when they're 12 because they give them a phone when they're 11 and they just let them sign up to an account and put the wrong birth date. It's a stupid, stupid idea from a politician that clearly has no idea about parenting or the internet.
Wow. Well, Trevor Long has just shot Bambi.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
The golden child's gone down. He's taken one on the chin.
I've never had
Some
anything
bloke.
like
Anyway,
it.
we've got him on the
You have
line.
to do a
We've got him on the line.
10 count.
Shooting's required, I'm sorry.
Trevor, go into witness protection.
Mate, the Prime Minister in waiting's on his knees.
Oh, gee. Now, you're very
should be.
fired up. You're very fired up
should
about this.
be.
Why has he got it so wrong?
Because you can't enforce a ban that a government makes like this. Like, imagine they said everyone under 35 can't post photos on Instagram. I mean, what are you talking about? You can't enforce that.
China does.
Well, no, but they don't, because there are
China
people in
restrict
China
the
who
internet.
get
We know
around.
that China restrict the internet.
and good luck to them. But we don't have any form of internet filter here in Australia, and let alone state-based, let's be clear. So a state is trying to say that kids under a certain age can't do a certain thing. Right now, it's not possible for kids to, according to Facebook and TikTok and others, join their platforms before they're 13. But are you trying to tell me there's not 11-year-olds that have TikTok accounts? No, because they put a different date of birth in. And do you think their parents care? No, because they're not even looking at their phones. The problem isn't legislation. The problem is parents.
So he reckons he's got the biggest heavy hitter lawyer he can get to write it up. You reckon that's not going to make any difference at all?
Won't make a rat's of difference. And even if you do implement an amazing law that says you can't do this, what are we doing? Knocking on people's doors and saying, are your kids on TikTok? You know, parents themselves will shut the door in the face of anyone that tries to say that. This should be education. The government should be saying we need more information for parents. We need more tools for parents. We need more education for parents to help them understand how their kids can better deal with these things and better restrict themselves on social media.
What if there was some way to sort of make, oh God, I mean, it's just so strange hypothesising about it even, but what if there was some way that, like, when you go to rent a property but you don't have enough credit or whatever, you get your parents to co-sign for you? What if, as a tween,
What, to get an account?
To get an account, you can't do it unless you have permission from the parent, or the parent
I don't mind that.
actively has to take part in, witnessing it and, overseeing
What
it.
if you just verified every account?
Absolutely brilliant idea.
Yeah.
How do you prove that someone is 14 years old?
Yeah.
They don't have any ID. Can I just remind everyone that right now, breaking news, your kids of any age can look at hardcore pornography on the internet without any restriction. So how are we trying to restrict social media? It's honestly... It's
So you don't
a
think
lovely idea,
You
but
think
it's
that
not
it's not
possible.
an issue? Do you not see that it might be a problem for young people? That's
It's
something we
a
should look into
massive
doing
problem.
something about?
It's a massive problem that is the problem of parents. Parents are the ones that need to parent. We need people who have kids to step up and say, I'm a parent. I need to understand what my kids are doing. Why are my kids in their bedrooms for 4 hours in the afternoon after school? Get up there, take their phones off them and talk to them about what they're doing. You've got to have conversations with your kids. You've got to know what they're doing online, and you too need to be online. You can't ignore it and say, I don't know what social media is, I'm too old. No, you have to do it so that you can have an open and real conversation with your kids.
Oh,
Trevor, powerful stuff, mate. Thanks for joining
Thanks,
us.
Trev.
You've shot Bambi, mate. God, this is going to.
I didn't realise what I was doing, I'll be honest.
You know, I was
Go into
under your
hiding.
head, mate.
Go into keep your head down. Good on you, Trev. Thanks for coming on.
Cheers.
There he is,
Anytime.
Trevor Long. Everything for the man. Look, he obviously knows his stuff, Trevor, and
Yeah,
very,
he really
very
does.
passionate about what he's saying
Well,
this morning.
Didn't
I
even
mean,
hesitate. He's 110% thinks he's right.
I did ask the Premier yesterday, how are you going to enforce it? And he said, it's going to be hard. I actually think it's going to be impossible. I mean,
Well, that's
there's
what Trev's saying.
it's just no way to make it happen. It might be a nice idea, but
when I mention China, by the way, can I clarify that? I don't agree with what... No. What they do is they just shut down things. And when you visit there, I mean, they even... They'll look at every single bit of vision you've ever taken. You know, if you're a reporter, a journalist, so they suppress
We
things.
haven't even got enough police.
And they persecute people and put them in
Yeah.
jail for 30 years. So I'm not suggesting that regime
No.
here. But I would have thought if they can monitor the
Yeah.
internet on a daily basis,
Who
why
are you
can't...
going to get to do that?
Well, I don't know, but it would take a whole
But there's
task
also
force,
ways
wouldn't it?
around everything. Like, even in China, you can get a VPN, you know.
What's that?
It means that you can
Visible
divert...
panty line or something?
Let's not compare ourselves to China.
What is it?
It's where you basically divert your IP address so that you can't be tracked.
Right.
You could
Okay.
get one right now on your phone.
Okay.
Like, it's
That's
easy
a whole
to...
new field.
Uh-oh.
Triple M breakfast.
Triple M's Roo, Dits and Loz for breakfast.
New Hilux in stock with bonus $1,000 accessories at Peter Kittle Toyota.
I have some exciting news.
What news?
You are fake news.
Well, that's good news.
Triple M breakfast with Roo, Dits and Loz.
Overnight news.
It is budget day, which I know is a little bit ho-hum, but I guess all of us hope that we're getting some money back. There are meant to be some tax cuts in July 1. Everyone will get a little bit of money. But I just raised this question. You know, recently they talked about the HEX situation where they're going to give us $3 billion back to all of our kids and people like you, Loz, that have got a HECS debt. And then in the end, when it ends up being a couple of $100 each.
1,200 it was, wasn't it?
Well, depends what your HECS debt is.
Relative to the debt.
Yeah.
Some people have like hundreds of thousands.
That's
of
right.
dollars.
Average was 1,200.
Yeah. And then like today, and they say apparently they're going to do something about our energy crisis, our energy bills. But if you end up getting, I don't know, $100 back for the year or $200 back for the year, shouldn't they be looking at a bigger picture of how they can fix it? Like it does that when you advertise it over 52 weeks. If you're given a couple of $100, if you're given $500, and to people out there really, really struggling, I know $500 is a lot of money, and I feel for you, but over 52 weeks, it's a Band-Aid. Yeah. Look at the bigger picture and try and fix it.
Yeah, I mean,
these energy prices aren't going to. It's not going to go away, is it?
No, it's going to go up.
You hope that they are. I mean, you hope that they're not just using it as a sort of like a payday loan sort of vibe, like, oh yeah, quick money, and that distracts people long enough to get them through to the next voting sort of period. But yeah, it's depressing. I mean, there's a lot of people really, really on the bones of their ass, and I get stressed out thinking about the fact that we live in a society where they don't want you to spend money, but they want you to spend money. Like, don't spend money, it'll be inflation. Well, spend money, though, because otherwise you'll bugger the economy. But don't spend any money because of inflation. But come on, spend money.
Oh, the analysts are saying, you're right, at today's vote, they're saying it will send inflation up.
Of course, and then there'll be more.
The wrong people get the money. That's what will happen. That's what they don't want. They just want it to be on essentials. That's why it's hard for them.
I don't like saying this out loud because I don't want to make it a generation thing, but the studies show that the people who are spending the most money are the older generation who've already paid off their house. And so
that's right. So they're trying to give the money to only people that need it. And in ways that they can, e.g. lower power bills, because that'll reduce inflation by not doing it. That's why they're doing it that way.
But
so everything will be fine.
You and I, you maybe a bit different to the average person, but you said last week you complained about your power bill last week. So if in tonight's budget you get $3 a week back or something, no,
it's for pensioners and for people that haven't got any money and need some assistance to pay their bills.
No. All right.
So anyway, we'll wait and see what happens there tonight. Now, Loz, who's one of your most hated actors?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Well, all right, good. I didn't have to have too many guesses there. That's great.
There's only one, really.
There's a pop star. Is the band Nonsense? A girl called Sabrina Carpenter. She was the support act for Taylor Swift on her Aussie tour.
Oh, please
she had a big birthday party in New York on the weekend. It looked like there was a lot of fun. I had a look online. Her birthday cake had a massive picture of Leonardo DiCaprio on the cake with all candles all around it. Because she turned 25. So she's
out of commission.
She's out.
Yeah.
Sabrina, she knows
and
it's
she's
time.
a beautiful girl.
Yeah.
Sydney, all over.
Because that's the threshold, isn't it?
It is.
For him to date you've got to be under 25.
We joke about it, but he has never dated a woman over 25.
No.
And how old's he now?
104.
He'd be my age, I reckon. He's 48 or
50,
something.
I think. Oh, Root. Like, when you put it in that realm, that is even just it's insane. Because he's got like a youthful energy because he's a celebrity or whatever. But the fact, like, if you were only dating 25-year-olds, just God love us.
Sarah would be well gone. I would have had a heap by now.
Hey, they think they might have a cure for baldness.
Really?
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, it's preemptive, unfortunately. So if you've already lost your hair, it might be hard to enact. But it's a little patch with micro needles on it. You stick it on your scalp, and when it's on your head, it emits all of these little hormones and drugs into your head. And then it's sort of like stimulates hair growth.
Really?
Yeah, they think it works for even people with alopecia, which is like proper bald, where you've got nothing, no follicles.
So you just walk around with patches on your head all day?
Well, it'd be little sort of seamless patch.
Wouldn't see them?
No, it wouldn't be like a big crusket on your head.
A Speedo swim cap or something.
No. That's exciting.
Yeah. Look forward to those patches. Hey, what about Port Lincoln man Troy Smith, who's been caught with meth
wearing the Crows Guernsey?
Yes, in the Crows Guernsey over in Bali. He's got done. The cops weren't come and raided his apartment. Looked like he was going to do 12 years for possession over there. Now they said he actually flew it in from Australia. Life.
So they're talking traffic.
Now they're talking life. The front page of the Advertiser, very good headline. till meth do us part.
She said she's standing by
Best
him.
one for ages.
I can't.
That is the best one. And Troy himself must have a very good sense of humour while he's coming off the meth in hospital. Let's have a listen.
Go the power.
Go the power!
No.
He jumped ship.
No.
Go the power.
Go the power.
No, listen
he
closely.
watched Friday night, them beating Geelong.
It's his first night in jail. He said, I need a shower.
No, he is hallucinating.
If you listen,
Go the power.
I need a shower.
And you know what?
Power.
If they don't put him in jail for the meth stuff, he should be going to jail for flipping from a crows to a
Get
paw.
your bloody crows.
Traitor.
Guernsey off, Troy.
That's right.
Triple M's Roo, Dits and Loz for breakfast.
Now, this is slightly, a little bit, if you've got any kids in cars, it's a slightly grown-up chat, but we had our producer, Lesia, leaving us. She's off to London, and it was very depressing and sad, obviously, especially for me and Em, because we sort of hung out a lot and did a lot of stuff outside of work together. And so we thought we'll get her something sentimental, something funny, you know. So I always love getting people a little flask with an engraving. I think that's a good little present.
A flask?
A little hip flask, you know, especially if you're going out in London and you don't want to spend £15 on a hip flask is a great thing to have. Anyway, is that a bad thing to do? I don't know. The way you're looking at me.
Sounds like that's better, something that
the owner
50
of
years
pubs,
ago,
though.
isn't
Do
it?
you guys you're not flask operators?
No.
No.
Never done it.
I suppose I've been very, very poor for most of my adult life, really.
So you take that to nightclubs and do it?
Well, not anymore. I don't go clubbing, but it has been done. They're very nifty.
lock you
Anyway,
up.
with the engraving.
Anyway, great idea to give
They
that
sit
to
on the
us.
shelf. If you don't use them, they sit on the shelf and they're quite funny. So we thought, what can we get as an engraving? And something funny we came up with was the Triple M motto is good times and greatest hits.
Yes.
And we said, what about if it was good times and greatest tits? As in boobies.
Loz.
Anyway, it's a funny in-joke.
Never looked
and
at
she's got
Alessia's.
No, of course you haven't. But she has nice ones anyway, so whatever. So I said, I'll go get it. That's fine. And it's a really funny, great idea until you get to the engraving place and the guy behind the counter is a delightful little older gentleman.
Oh, no.
Oh, there, what can I do for you? And I'm like,
Want your name on it?
I've got something that I just want to get engraved. Yeah, sure, no worries. What is it? Anyway, I had to write it down in a piece, and he goes, "Oh, okay, yeah." It was just there's. I felt ashamed.
Did he look at yours when you gave it to him?
he did not. He did not look me in the eye. He didn't look anywhere at
Did you
me.
make him blush?
I think I made him blush, and then it turned out that I had the same name as his granddaughter. Like there was this whole thing, and it was just
he's
it was
an old
embarrassing.
pro.
And then he gave me the thing, and he said, "Don't worry, Darlove, you wouldn't believe some of the things I've had to write on flasks over the years." And I went, "You know what? You're probably right. I shouldn't
Exactly.
underestimate this guy. He's probably seen some
He's
very
been
grim
around.
stuff." Yeah. Anyway, it's in City Cross if you want to go in. And he's
Okay.
brilliant. Yeah.
So is that the present we got, Alessia?
That was a present I got her. You had nothing to do with that. Don't worry.
okay.
HR
What
wouldn't
did we
like that
get
if
her? What
you
did we
guys
get
gave her
her?
that.
What did we get her? Handbag?
Yeah, I know. We got her a voucher.
Voucher.
Triple M's Roo, Dits and Loz for breakfast.
Sports Card World, the specialists in sports cards and trading card games. Sports Card World, Region Arcade, Rundle Mall.
Triple M breakfast with Roo, Dits and Loz. What a goal! Overnight sports.
We now know a big setback for the Crows, Roo. Tell us about Josh Worrell.
Yeah, Josh Worrell's broken both bones in his arm, so he'll be out for 8 to 12 weeks. So hopefully he'll be back for finals. That's the optimistic view for Crows fans. So not good for Josh because he was playing great footy and he had some hamstring injuries last year, but he'll just have to do what he can do on the sidelines and get fit and ready for later on in the year.
Now, we head into Sir Doug Nicholls' round this week. It goes over 2 weeks. So Adelaide, to be known as Goanna, will take on Collingwood in the Indigenous
Port Adelaide
themed
Yada
jumper.
Pulti.
Yep, designed by Isaac Rankin. That's right.
It's really cool, that one.
Yeah, the jumpers are awesome.
Yeah.
They sell out. Everyone loves getting on board. I think they had Sonny Morey, that's his name, isn't it? It's
Yep.
the Central District
Yes, champion, yeah.
He was involved
State
yesterday.
player. That's good. Connor Rosie running laps for Port Adelaide yesterday, which is a good sign.
I
Or
reckon
Yada
he might
Pulti.
play this week, so he's going to miss 1 week.
No, don't.
No,
Don't
I'm
do
not
that.
having a go.
No, I'm not saying it to you, but I think
He hasn't ripped his hamstring.
just be cautious. We always know hamstring's an extra week or two, isn't it? Loz?
They're all different.
Oh, yes, Sticks, that's true. Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right, Sunday playing Hawthorn at home. Jordan Sweet available after missing the week. They say he had COVID last week. They didn't really say that at any stage.
Tell us the truth.
Yeah.
Come
now, Jace Burgoyne
Thought
also.
it was a long flu, didn't we?
Yeah. Yep. Jace Burgoyne is also pushing for a return.
Did running on Saturday, felt okay, so just test myself at training and all goes to plan, should be back this week.
He's got a groin issue. Now, AFL boss Andrew Dillon denies the league needs an independent doctor after Geelong's Jeremy Cameron stayed on the ground after that heavy hit Friday night.
So the way they did it is within the rules to assess him out on the ground. The argument that might be had is should he have to go off and do the assessment off the ground so that it's not in between play and he can do it properly. It wouldn't have made any difference in terms of him coming back on later on the ground because it was a delayed concussion. He got it the next day, but it would have meant he would have been off for a few minutes while they did the assessment. If they have independent doctors, I can tell you right now that players will just go off and you won't see them again. I reckon they'll be very cautious and you have heaps more players off with...
Right.
That's my opinion, but I might be wrong.
All right. Hey, going around the league, Luke Beveridge, we know he's been under the pump a little bit. He says he wants to stay on as Bulldogs coach. He's told Fox Footy his time will eventually come to an end.
And it is my 10th year and one more year on paper. But, as we march into the future, it's important that my place is almost demanded and needed. If it's time for change, we just all need to make that decision together.
Fair enough. Now,
you'd like it to work?
The rest of the draw gets announced today, round 16 to 23. We're talking about times and days. No more Thursday night footy after round 13.
I like Thursday night
Yeah,
footy.
I've grown to like it as well. I think everyone does. So maybe next year it'll be
a bit of a breather for
It'll be
people.
the norm next year. Hey, in other sport, this is great. At the Italian Open, the big build-up to the French Open, Alex de Minaur through to the round of 16 beat Felix Auger-Aliassime in 3 sets. Now he plays Stefanos Tsitsipas.
Good work.
Well, speaking of sport, if you're looking for more hard-hitting footy analysis, The Bump, the boys will be recording that a little bit later today.
Hard-hitting.
Yeah, good podcast that'll pop up on the Listener app.
Triple M's Roo, Dits and Loz for breakfast.
For all your steel supplies, it has to be Centurion Steel. Centurion.com.au.
G'day, it's Tex Walker from the Crows.
Come on.
Let's talk about
Tex.
Let's talk about
Tex! Oh, good morning, Tex, on this Tuesday morning. You've had a couple of days to think about the draw. Roo said yesterday, from his point of view, you're 3 goals down late in the game and you come back and draw the game. So was that some sort of positive out of it?
Oh, you try and look at positives out of it, then you look at ways that you want to learn and get better. So we put ourselves in a position to win. So in that aspect, you're like, we probably missed out on a couple of points. And then you look at the way we're able to come back in the last sort of 5 to 10 minutes and go, oh shit, we maybe stole 2 points. So it's, I don't know, I love the history of our game. I've said this a lot of times, especially the bounce of the ball. You always say, as a family, I can't wait to see the first bounce. You've got to get there for the first bounce. So a draw, in my eyes, I've got to get the picket out of my bum. I sit on the fence a little bit because I'd love 40,000 people to walk out with a result. But I also think the history of our game, I love it. And I think the draw sort of sits in that category. In saying that, I think if you're going to go the other side of the fence and go, we need a result, I'd love to see him just continue to play the game out. If it's 30 minutes on the dot, that's when the siren goes. Blow the siren like 2 or 3 times so the players know, and then you just play it until someone scores.
But what if the wind's blowing one direction stronger than the other?
Stiff shit.
So the Russia debated this last night. There were 3 different scenarios. You keep the draw. You'd have to do like a few minutes each way just because of the wind.
Fair. Yeah.
Or 2 minutes or 5, whatever it was. Or Bernie wanted to have 3 blokes doing a kick-off, like in soccer, from, say, 35. No, I'm just giving you the options
Rock,
that Bernie
paper,
threw up,
scissors.
just to do like what they do in soccer. But everyone had differences of opinions. But the biggest problem with playing extra overtime is the TV networks all get thrown out. And, as you know, TV dominates the decisions.
But you wouldn't think it'd go for 5 or 10 minutes. You'd think
have to
it'd
be
go,
3 minimum each way. Or
just keep playing it. Like the game's still playing, momentum's there. Like let it just unfold. Like on the weekend, you probably think, I was in Brisbane's front half. So be it. If they end up scoring a point, they win. If we're able to transition the ball up our end and we score, well, we win.
So you're saying just keep the game going, blow the siren three times, and then just say we're in overtime. The next score wins.
Imagine how frantic it would be. The fans would be on their feet. I reckon you'd literally get fans out of their seats cheering. It'd be pretty cool. It'd be an amazing atmosphere.
Tense. Very tense.
Really tense, yeah.
Or we just keep it as it is.
Or you just keep it as is and you just deal with it.
Yeah.
So what are you liking at the moment? There has been a big improvement over the last few weeks, hasn't there?
Yeah, they're still a great side, albeit they've had a few injuries. They played in the grand final last year. They probably could have won it. It was a great game for them. But
kick away.
I think our contest is great. Our backs have been unbelievable in the past, month, 5 weeks, being able to stand up under the pressure that the repeat entries and how many entries they've had to deal with. And just our ability to, score off those has been something that we haven't been great in the last few years, has been able to score from our back half, but we've been really good in our ability to stop opposition, transitioning the ball through the whole ground. So there's still a lot of positives out of the draw.
Josh Worrell's broken both bones in his arm. They're saying 8 to 12 weeks. A bit of bad luck for a lad who did his hammy a couple of times before Christmas the year before and has played some terrific footy. A bit of a setback, but he'll be back strong.
He's been unbelievable, Roo. I've been super impressed. I love him. He's a great kid.
He's matured a lot,
super competitive, loves winning. So he's going to be a big loss because he's been in great form for us, and hopefully we get him back for about a month or 6 weeks towards the end of the year.
Thursday night footy is not happening. I think he's around 13 or 15 onwards. Yeah, so it's been every Thursday for the year. I haven't heard anyone who doesn't like it, other than probably people who don't like footy. Are you surprised they're not going to continue on with it?
Yeah, I think it's great. It starts your weekend off well, and
we have a 4-day weekend. It feels like it,
pretty
doesn't
much. Yeah, I love it. I think it's great. A lot of people get to Friday and they're exhausted, but you get to Thursday, you've got a little bit more energy, and you look forward to the Thursday night games, and back-to-back Thursday, Friday night games. Everyone's chomping at the bit for the weekend for footy to come.
Do you think the AFL needs to introduce independent doctors to assess concussion in footy clubs now?
Oh, it has its pros and cons, I'd like to think. But for me, I think Mark Cesana, who's our head doctor, he sees me day to day.
Yep.
He understands, if I've got any mood changes. He knows my HIA. He knows all my testing.
Yep.
Like, he's got an amazing amount of data on me as a person. Whereas an independent doctor comes in and assesses me on that
think
day.
You're concussed all the time.
Potentially. You know what I mean? So it says he's got a lot of data on me as a person.
They'd have to work hand in hand, wouldn't they?
Which
together.
That comes into consideration when they do the assessment on the day. So I think, I suppose it's probably got its pros and cons, but I lean more towards keep our club doctor, which knows the person a lot more in depth.
Actually making a lot of sense this morning, Tex.
Yeah, very coherent.
Tex, you got the Pies this weekend. I think you might be getting them at the right time.
Oh, they're still a very good side, Ditch, but we're going to have to be on our A game, getting over the MCG, which we don't get over there that often. So
haven't lost for 5 weeks.
The boys,
they're due then.
Pies, they got some injuries.
We're chomping at the bit to get over there and
put them in the
place.
Cracking them.
God, they make me sick.
Jeremy Howe.
Yeah, Elliot. Goey.
Not
bad.
Back this week, I reckon.
You reckon?
Yeah.
You reckon?
Hope not.
Have another
I
one.
think McCreary's out, isn't he?
Bo's out.
Yeah. Very handy.
Nearly
player.
as many as the Crows.
Yeah.
That's all right. We just got to go over there and get the 4 points, not the 2.
Last year, you pushed them very close both times.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. It was
And they won the
2
flag.
and 1 point. So, no, we match up well against them. We're looking forward to getting over there and having a red hot crack.
All right, now.
2-1. Could it be a draw? Could it be like the weekend?
There you go. Descending order.
You know what happened on the weekend? 3 points at quarter time, 2 points at half time, 1 point at three-quarter time.
Yep.
Draw.
Counted down.
3, 2, 1, 0.
How did the siren go?
What was the stat, Dits? It was one in what the odds of that happening?
15,614 games of football that have been played. We had 158 draws.
Yeah.
So that's what the world's most boring man told me.
Yeah,
Not me
yeah,
knowing.
yeah.
So you got a 1.01%
yourself?
chance of having a draw. There you go.
You don't know how accurate that is.
Reports have come out
Yeah.
A Walker will not be playing for the rest of the year.
Yeah, what's happening?
Crying in front of Port players.
Well, he started Auskick, and I went to watch yesterday, and obviously Port.
He being
Hugo, my eldest.
Are we naming and shaming?
Hang on a minute. How old is he?
Nearly, he'll be 5 at the end of
So
the year.
he's 4.
You gotta
He's
be tough.
4.
You got to be tougher at 4.
Okay, all right.
And they're doing a drill. All the Port boys, well, not all of them, but there's about 5 or 6 of them doing their clinics.
Charlie Dixon
Charlie
would
was
look
out
like
there.
Jack and the Beanstalk out there.
An actual giant.
I'd have been so scared of it.
Anyway, he was doing a drill and Hugo got bumped into the face or something, so tears started crying.
Not by Dixon.
And I was like, oh, what do I do here? So I walked over, I was trying to console him and say, righto, mate, just run it off, you'll be right.
Get up.
Nah, I want to go home.
Done.
I'm done. This was 10 minutes into the 45-minute session. I want to go home.
No.
I said, mate, we're not going home. You've got to go back out there. Nah, it's too sore, Dad. And I'm like, what actually happened? I thought, maybe he might be injured. I got hit in the face.
Oh.
I was like, righto, just run it off, mate. I'll walk you back out there. Nah. And I thought, the Port boys going to be looking at me thinking, have a look at his... Anyway, he sat there for the next 35 minutes right next to me and didn't go back out there. I said, well, we're going to have to chuck your footy boots in the bin, mate, if you won't come next week. No, Dad, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
he's his father's son.
Yes, he is.
Oh,
You'd be
come
joking.
Yeah.
Anyway, did I tell you I recently opened a company selling trampolines disguised as prayer mats? Did I tell you that?
No.
Profits are going through the roof.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Go and knock off those
Clever.
pies at the MCG, Tex.
Oh, I will do.
Good luck,
Enjoy.
mate.
See ya.
I know where Hugo gets his toughness.
Triple M breakfast.
Triple M's Roo, Dits and Loz for breakfast. AutoCam, real-time video from Automasters. Triple M's Rumour Mill. Triple M's Rumour Mill, Adelaide's most listened to segment. Hear it every day at 7:40 on Roo, Dits and Loz.
Well, I wasn't allowed to give it away yesterday. I was sworn to secrecy by the bloke who told me about a big-name artist coming to Adelaide. A similar time frame as when Velo was on in November of this year. He's connected with Live Nation. It starts with the letter D. You guys couldn't work it out yesterday who it was. 4th most streamed artist in the world.
4th.
Sold 170 million records.
That's not
Oh,
bad.
my God.
1.2 billion streams of one song called, I think, Nice for What or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, my God, you're kidding me.
And
Keep going.
have a listen to this song. You may have heard of this. It's called Hotline Bling or something.
Yeah, it's like it was the biggest song.
Drake coming to Adelaide.
Drake.
Now, he is a rapper.
What?
He's a hip-hop.
He's doing the Velo.
I don't know if he's doing Velo, but he's coming at the same time. So maybe he is, or maybe he's doing a gig in Adelaide. I don't know. But
Oh, my
it's
God.
coinciding with when Velo is on,
Right. Now,
mid-November.
Loz, is that a good announcement? Or?
That's massive.
But how
Yes.
big is he? Obviously, with those numbers, he's huge.
He's, as Hamish might say, the Taylor Swift of hip-hop and R&B.
Right.
Like, he's
Now-
enormously
Well, he's
famous.
4th too, Taylor. He's like, obviously, she's number 1.
Yeah, he's
Roo, are we
a
allowed
stadium
to
filler.
say what we know about the hotel or not?
I think the hotel rooms are booked. We'll put it
He's
that way.
definitely booked in.
But we talk about the number.
Well, we don't. Yeah, well, we can. He's booked in. He's got more rooms than the normal artists have.
There's a lot of hotel rooms have been
Yeah.
booked, so we're pretty sure it's happening.
He's got a lot of people.
Got a fair entourage.
Yeah. If those numbers are accurate,
A few hangers on.
I'm very
My
concerned.
lads just say, my lads just text, are you lying?
See, this is the thing.
I'm not, Nick.
He's huge. He's absolutely massive.
All right. So if it was Velo, they'd be having to do that in a bigger place than Robbie Williams.
Big time.
How many was it Robbie Williams last year? It's
hard to say.
20,000, 30,000?
At least.
Can I just say,
Do it where they had Red Hot Chili Peppers. They had a heap there.
Yeah.
and it worked
That
well.
was a better venue,
there was
yeah.
the look, great for getting Robbie Williams, but the setup was a nightmare. There was a walkway going through the crowd. It was just awful. There was delay in the speakers, so who were hearing two different things at two different times.
Do you want me to tease you a bit more?
Oh, please.
I've got an update on Eminem tomorrow.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
gee.
Tell you
Rupert,
tomorrow.
He's Molly Meldrum, isn't he?
I can't believe
Do
this.
yourself
Laurie
a
Oakes,
favour.
Molly Meldrum,
Dickie Wilkins over here.
whatever you want.
Triple M breakfast.
Triple M's Roo, Dits and Loz for breakfast.
I was listening to the Mighty Rush Hour again, cruising around, picking up kids, dropping them off, and,
It's educational.
well, makes me feel good about not being able to speak real good. I can tell you that because Bluey has a lot of trouble with the English language.
St Kilda coach Ross Lyon says coaches are like, now it says neutered dogs here, is that right? Neutered. Due to the nurtured. Nurtured? I don't know. Or muted. Anyway, due to the restrictions on how often the runner can be used. Jazz?
Yes, Greg.
Does Ross have a fair point on the restrictions?
Explain neutered, Loz.
Well,
I think it was meant to be nurtured, and he
No,
was.
it's neutered.
Oh,
They've been
neutered, as
signed-
in,
yeah,
as
it's
in like
neutered.
castrated.
Yeah, it's how their agates cut out.
Yeah.
He's saying, Ross
De-sexed.
Lyon saying, you've taken away my power.
Yeah.
let me just
Yeah,
say
it's
that
not
wasn't
nurtured.
the only one for. There was a lot more left in the show, but we'll just leave it at that for now.
Oh, we got.
Oh, do you want to play the other?
Yeah,
go for it?
I've got the other one as well.
Jars was he wasn't in hot water, but her caller
shocked me.
Let's just say she had a different way of explaining what she thought there was an exciting finish to the game.
And
Yeah,
you know, and it's a draw. What more do you want?
Well,
There's
Sue,
a lot
I was as flat as when the siren went. I was as flat as my guts, and I didn't like the result of the silence, the players, the coaches. I didn't like it, Sue.
But didn't you have a little bit of moisture in your undies, though?
What do you follow through?
Oh, Donald Trump, or, you know, you'd have to be a bit excited, wouldn't you?
Prices, Sue.
Heaps. Oh, good on you, Sue. Curry from the night before.
Gee, fair suck of the sauce bottle.
That's the
Sue.
difference. See, we don't have
love
those
how
sort of
deadpan
lists
Sue
on
was.
breakfast.
And let me just say, there was a lot more than that. There was a really wacky half an hour of rush hour I got last night. You wait to hear UFO Mick.
Oh, no.
He's one of his own. He's a legend.
Triple M's Roo, Dits and Loz for breakfast.
We had a real big morning this morning, and Tex Walker was with us, wasn't he, Roo?
Yeah, he was, and he talked about what he would do in the future if there was drawn games in the AFL.
I'd love to see him just continue to play the game out. You know, if it's 30 minutes on the dot, that's when the siren goes. Blow the siren like 2 or 3 times so the players know. And then you just play it until someone scores.
But what if the wind's blowing one direction, stronger
Oh,
than
well,
the other?
stiff shit.
Calling it as he sees it, Tex Walker. If you want to hear the full chat with Tex, go to the listener app, search Roo, Dits and Loz, and you'll get it there. You'll also get the rumour mill there, where I dropped today that Drake, the hip-hop artist, one of the biggest in the world, I think 4th most highest streamed at the moment. One of his songs is at over 1.2 billion streams, if you can comprehend those numbers.
Absolutely massive.
He'll be coming in November. That's my mail. And tomorrow I'm going to give you an update on Eminem.
Eminem.
Yes. All right, so the rumour mill is on fire at the moment.
Yep.
We'll catch you tomorrow, everybody.
Loz's Wheelie Bin, 10 o'clock today and 1 o'clock.
Yes.